Finally, y'all, NFL Week 1 has arrived. Some was worried. We on? Hello?
We're on.
Oh, some was worried that it might be delayed, but not me. I knew if it was one sport that was gonna be played, it was NFL football. Now, NBA NBA playoffs still in effect, but the Bucks not around. The Braves bats are still talking, but the pitching ain't listening. This and more. We got and should we accept vulnerability and any sign of weakness from our athletic leaders? This and more. Episode 154. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm going to skip the music. Let's go right into episode 154. Welcome, everybody, to the Red and Red Sports Show. We're coming to you live from the ATL, giving you real sports talk because we are real sports fans who are real sports athletes who have real sports knowledge. And we come to you apologizing for the technical difficulties that we had. We couldn't go live on Facebook from Zoom, but we are on YouTube, and where there's a will, there is a way. So we're going to go ahead on, continue this episode 154 of the Red and Red Sports Show. And at this time, Coach, what you got for us for episode 154?
Well, I'm going to make it short and sweet. Just going to go quickly to who's being recognized as a Cy Young candidate. And right now, he's the number one pitcher for the Atlanta Braves. Even though he's on the injured list, but he's still the number one pitcher. He wears number 54. Max Fried, pitcher for the Atlanta Braves.
Max Fried, the saving grace on the pitching staff for our Atlanta Braves here in the ATL. And we hope that he gets back soon because we sure do need him in the rotation. Let's not waste any time. Let's go straight in to some real sports talk. Let's give our dope note coke moments for this particular week. We'll start with you, Red, real quickly. What are you doping on, sir?
Oh, okay. Forgive me, Rev. I'm trying to do some technical stuff myself.
Yeah, we gotta do it and talk. Do it and talk.
What am I doping on this week? I'm back with you. Okay, here I am. What am I doping on this week? I'm doping on my Atlanta Falcons, making John Lewis the honorary captain for this week. Atlanta Falcons, very dope.
All righty. That's dope. And that's dope again. For some reason, my sound ain't working, but it's just one of those days. All right, Coach, what you doping on?
I'm doping on the fact that for whatever reason, I know we're going to talk about it, so I won't stay long, the NBA playoff games have gotten a little more intensified. I guess the closer you get to that ring, the better. So it looks like we're going to be in for some good series down the line. So I'm doping on the fact that the play has gotten better than 6-period PE basketball.
All right. Oh, yeah. And to Red, doping on the Falcons making the Honorable John Lewis, the late John Lewis, the captain. Oh, yeah. All right. I'm going to go along in the same vein as Coach with doping on Game 7 yesterday of the Toronto Raptors, Boston Celtics. They had some classic battles, and Game 7 was very good. I had not been watching a whole lot of bubble basketball, but that was indeed a great game, great way to finish up the Eastern Conference semifinals, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the Miami Heat and Boston Celtics matchup will look like. But thank you, Toronto. Thank you, Boston, for giving us a great Game 6 and 7. All right?
Excellent. Absolutely excellent.
Coach, what are you noping on?
My no moment is going to the Tennessee Titans, Isaiah Wilson. Young man, you got drafted. You're the first round pick. You're getting ready to play some pro football. So that's the way you celebrate by going out and getting arrested for DUI? Are you kidding me? Y'all don't just stop. And if you're going to drink, which I don't recommend, we do to each his own, do it at home. Stop trying to go out and drink, and then you get arrested for DUI. This may jeopardize. I don't know what they're going to do with you, whether you're going to be suspended or not. But this is not a way to start your career, sons.
All right. There's a bad no right there.
No!
I'm noping on one, Daniel House. You can't bring another woman into the bubble, number one, without her being cleared. Number two, you commit adultery, bro, and the wife ain't having it. So you struck out big times. You can't play. You brought a woman who was not authorized to come into the bubble, and then you cheat on your wife, and now you make a public spectacle of your wife. You got more worries than playing basketball next year, brother. So I pray for you right now, and I will add you to my church's prayer list. All right? All right, Red, what are you noping on?
I'm noping on Pascal Siakam, Spicy P. I think that P need a little more spice because, dude, you averaged 13.9 points in the conference semifinals and 9.3% from 3-point. Dude, you got a huge contract last offseason. That performance right there in the conference semifinals is a big no. I mean, you only scored 20 points one time in all the games. No,
Wow.
no
You have
spice.
got to be kidding.
All right, man. All right, here we go, man. I'm coping on, as you can see, the shirt I'm wearing is old school Atlanta Hawks shirt, and I'm coping on the fact that we lost a good 15, 16 years of potentially championship basketball because we drafted Marvin Williams, who retired this past week from the Milwaukee Bucks, who became an NBA journeyman. Instead of, we could have had CP3, who's been showing up, showing out for years in the NBA, even though he's been injury plagued. But the Hawks would have had a much better future had the Hawks drafted CP3 instead of Marvin Williams. So Marvin Williams, thank you for retiring, helping us Hawks fans not to have to continue to watch you play, as a reminder of how the Hawks management, who was Billy Knight at the time, jacked up that draft night by drafting you, Marvin Williams, instead of CP3. So
You are one pathetic loser.
I tell you. All right, Red, it's on you, man. What are you coping on?
Billy Knight, I think that dude that wanted Billy Knight to shake his hand and still got his hand out, waiting for Billy Knight to shake it. What am I coping on? I'm coping on one, Tommy Malone, pitcher from the Baltimore Orioles that my Braves traded for. Tommy, dude, you probably are I think you are the only pitcher in baseball history to be given 2 10-run leads and did not get a win in either of the games. I mean, how do you blow 2 games When you get 2 10-run leads, I mean, good Lord, it's almost to the point I want Tommy Malone to start every game for the Braves, just so I know that's the game we're going to explode with the bats. But we all know he's not going to win the game because, dude, Lord have mercy. I don't know what Alex was thinking picking that guy from Baltimore. Of all the guys you going to pick, Alex, you pick a guy that can't hold a 10-run lead. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Whatever got you on the injured list, let it keep you on the injured list, okay? Tommy Malone. Lord, that's right, real. Perfect music right there.
Yeah, the Braves definitely lost on that trade. They could have kept Folksy up and let him just keep getting tagged for what Malone is doing. It's just.
Well, don't worry, we'll be back. Folksy will be back, I'm hearing.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Let me try to get my YouTube up so I can see who's tuning in, so I can say hello. Again, we apologize for the technical difficulties. Thankfully, we had a Red and Rev Sports Show YouTube page that is allowing us to watch the show to stream the show today. For some reason, Zoom and Facebook had an argument and would not allow us to get through. So this is why we are on YouTube as opposed to our normal Facebook, but we have shared the link. And if you want to join us so you can chat with us, go ahead on and hit the Zoom link, and hopefully it'll take you right into our YouTube page so that you can share your thoughts with us, because we got an action-packed show on today. And Armani has found us, and he said, "What's up, fellas?" on the YouTube page. Glad to have you. And you all can feel free to chime in and share what you might want to share with us on today. All right, gentlemen, let's get right into it, because we know we got an action-packed show for today, and we got a lot of basketball to talk about. So let's get right into it, my brother.
You have such an opportunity.
Not Joe Biden. All right, but basketball. Here we go. Here we go, gentlemen. We're in the heart of the NBA playoffs. We know that the Eastern Conference Finals has been set. The Miami Heat took care of the Milwaukee Bucks in 5, and then in a thriller on last night, the Celtics took care of the defending NBA champions Toronto Raptors. So now the Eastern Conference has been set up where we'll have the Boston Celtics, the 3rd seed, going against the Miami Heat, the 4th seed. Gentlemen, who do you have in that series, and in how many games? What you got? We'll go with Coach first.
Well, let's look at, I'll go with, wow. You look where the momentum is, and you look where the rest is. I would say the Heat in 7.
Explain yourself.
I mean, for some reason, Jimmy Butler obviously wasn't motivated enough in Minnesota and Philadelphia, and something with these young guys, he's being the leader, and that has kicked in and allowed them to play over their heads of Adebayo, Hero, Dragic. All those guys are playing well over their head. Now, I say Miami with a caveat, because we know Brad Stevens is one of the smartest coaches in the NBA, and I'm sure he'll have something to counteract that Jimmy Butler mentality. But I'm going to just go stick with Miami in 7. It's going to be a good series. I don't know if it's going to be better than Boston and Toronto, but hey, we'll see.
All right, Red, who you got, man?
I'm going to take Boston in 6. Boston Celtics are going to the NBA Finals out of the East. I think that's what the NBA want, old school Boston in the NBA Finals. The Heat gave us a good run, but I think they little party, they little train stops just short of the NBA Finals. Boston is the more popular team. Boston is going to get the more ratings, and Boston has, to me, the more deep team than Miami. I mean, you got Jalen, you got Kimba, you got Tatum. Miami, you just got Jimmy. Jimmy don't come to play. You got Bam Bam, but come on, Bam Bam, you can't put all of it on his shoulders. You got Dragic, but No, I don't see him carrying the team anywhere. You got those shooters, but I think Boston's defense will hold them a little in check, just enough to get past them. And Boston can shoot too. So Miami's defense, I have to worry about guarding those guys. And like you say, unless they just have off nights, they might have one or two, but I think they'll have 4 more better games than they'll have 4 bad games versus Miami. So I'm going to take Boston because I trust their depth. I trust their coaching. Miami's coaching is good too. But I think it's time for these boys to come on and get to the finals and show what they can do. I mean, they got this far. They've been there before. You know, I think it was 1 or 2 years ago, they was there versus LeBron. Took them to game 7, and they choked that away at home. I don't think they're going to let it happen again. I think they're ready to ascend to the next level. Tatum, Walker, Brown. I'm not a Celtics fan because, you know, if it's going against my Lakers, I'm going to pick them to lose. But as far as coming out the East, I think they're ready to take that step to the next level.
All right, and I'm also going with you, Red. I think Boston will take it. I think they have more talent than the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler has done an excellent job. He definitely stepped up to the plate against the Greek Freak and the Miami Heat. Others were just as good, but definitely more athletic than the Milwaukee Bucks. Others, as Shaq would label those role players. But when we look at the Boston Celtics, the Miami Heat, they don't have that athletic advantage like they did against the Milwaukee Bucks. Good luck, Goran Dragic trying to guard Kemba Walker. That's not a good matchup for him. Kemba is entirely too fast for him. You could put Marcus Smart on Jimmy Butler. That can help slow him down so that you can help relieve Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to be able to be the offensive weapons that they are. So the Boston Celtics matchups are very good against the Miami Heat because you go Kemba, Smart, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and they can defend all that athleticism that the Miami Heat brought against the Milwaukee Bucks. So you might not see Tyler Hero just go nuts like he did against the Milwaukee Bucks. You might not see Jay Crowder go nuts like he did against the Milwaukee Bucks. You know, I like Bam Adebayo for the Miami Heat, but I don't think he would just strictly dominate the bigs that the Boston Celtics have. And plus the Boston Celtics have multiple bodies that they could throw at Bam Bam. So I definitely like the Celtics in this particular matchup. If the Heat wins, I wouldn't be totally surprised, but I just think that this is the Boston Celtics chance. This is Brad Stevens' ascension into being called a great coach, finally leading his team to the NBA Finals. So I'm going to go along with Red. Let me ask you all both this question real quickly before we move on. Are you surprised? Are you surprised that we have a 3-4 matchup in the East?
In the East, not really. I mean, when Milwaukee is the number 1 seed, and like I say, Coach Bud is really getting the reputation of being a choker. I mean, not really, only because Milwaukee was the number 1 seed, and a lot of folks predicted them to lose in the second round of Miami anyway. So no, but had it been another number 1 seed, I probably would have been like, yeah, I would have been surprised. Had the Raptors been the number 1 seed, I would have been surprised.
Had they been the number 1 seed, you would have been surprised that it would have been 3-4?
I don't think they would have got bounced as the number 1 seed.
You think they could have beat the Miami Heat?
The Raptors?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah,
You don't think so?
I don't think so. Coach, you surprised, sir?
Well, you look at what Miami did all year, but then, of course, the injury to Giannis, plus not having that other player to step up, like I guess you did all year. You had people to step up, but then you didn't fulfill it in the playoffs in Miami. Like you said, that athleticism took over on Milwaukee. Now, Toronto, they were basically out to try to prove a point. We can play without Kawhi. Almost got there, just fell short. That was they were trying to say, hey, we can win without him, but they unfortunately didn't. So these two teams, not a big surprise that they made it.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's move on real quickly. Coach, your Houston Rockets are holding on to dear life. Will they be buried in their NBA grave on this evening?
No, sir. Not tonight. Now, let me tell you this. It's interesting with all the factors going against them. You know, I think that they can come out. They'll come out with nothing to lose. Well, they got everything to lose, but they'll come out with the hair on fire. And obviously, you know, it seems that one Mr. Westbrook has found his stride now. Because the last two games, he scored 30 points and 27 points. He's found his stride. But then in that game, James Harden struggled, which was unusual for him, and he got a little frustrated. So it's just a matter of putting it all together. And finally, I see Frank Vogel has figured out, Dwight, you and McGee don't need you this series. We got what we want. Y'all come back next series. We got to deal with some height. Right now, he's picked up the matchups and has used them to his advantage. And then you got a guy like we got Caruso who stepped up, and Rajon Rondo, who when you let him score 20 points, you destined to lose with him shooting. Now, Covington, that injury he had, it affected him. He didn't play his best game. And Daniel House, whether people want to admit it or not, that's going to be a loss because that takes 11 points, 5 rebounds away from what you need from your scoring. So he was a help. And, you know, you got to find somebody else. Austin Rivers, who I have no faith in, he tried to step up. But, hey, play like you're back against the wall, like that cat in the corner. I don't think they go out tonight.
So are you speaking more of more from the perspective of a fan or an analyst?
Both, because I see, you know, you see things, you see little things, and you see how what's his name, the Westbrook, he's quiet, and his people who used to get on and talk about him all the time, he shut them down the last 2 games. You haven't seen any posts, but like I said,
But but even with Westbrook playing is much better, they still lost both those games.
But that's what I was going to say. You got to look at those other guys, because Harden, I think he was like 2 for 11 in game 4. He struggled, which is unusual for him. But, you know, they got to play. Well, Harden got to play, you know, he got to step it up tonight. I think he will. I think he'll pick up, and they're going to find, and you can wipe that little grin off your face. It doesn't matter. I'm going to say
Hold on. Let me ask you this, Coach. Let me ask you this, because I want to talk more so to the analyst, not to the fan. Real quick.
Okay.
Because I'm just going to make my analysis real quickly. I believe it's over tonight. If it does go to 6, it's going to be over then. I mean, the Houston Rockets don't have a chance to win the series. So I'm going to let Red have all the time he needs. But where will the Rockets be able to stop LeBron and AD in the size advantage to make you believe that it's going to go past game 5 on tonight?
Well, it's not so much stopping them. It's those other guys who seem to be contributing a lot of points wise. Caruso, Rondo, those guys.
Hold on, Coach.
Oh, I was gonna say one more thing.
Hold on, Coach, because you said it's not about them, it's about the other guys. The problem is those other guys are open because they can't stop AD and LeBron. So they got a double and triple team. So that's why Rondo, Caruso, and the other guys are getting off. So you got to stop LeBron and AD or be able to guard them straight up to stop Rondo, Caruso, and the other guys. They're getting too many open looks because the size advantage is too much for the Rockets to try to defend LeBron and AD. So help me understand, what's the key? Are they going to play straight up with LeBron and AD to stop those other guys? What's the strategy?
They have to do what they did in game one. You see PJ Tucker's stats from game 4, he was terrible. He didn't get, he was averaging double digits in rebound, and he was banging under there. Last game, he had maybe 4 rebounds, and I think he had 2 points. I don't know if he's hurt, but he was doing a decent job in banging under there with the rebounds and getting putbacks. But the Rockets have to do what they did in game 1. Spread that floor, draw some people out, and make shots. They're not making them.
All right, real quick before Red goes, let me not read Armani's comments. I just got back to the YouTube page, so Armani, I want you to know it wasn't nothing personal, me not sharing your comments. He says Miami in 7. Jimmy has something to prove. No surprise, Milwaukee's unreliable. Coach Bud has a history or choking, like Red said. It's over, Houston. LeBron about to put away Lakers advance. Red, you'd feel free to comment after what Coach shared.
I mean, you guys pretty much said it all. I mean, I give Coach credit. He's a fan to the end. I have nothing but respect for that. You know, I understand it. I feel you, Coach. I mean, I've been there before, so I've been there before, Real. So you know, I understand that. But in reality, I mean, Coach pretty much told us why it was over. The reason he's mad with the Rockets. What did you say? You said Coach Vogel has figured it out.
Yeah.
That I mean not AD, but JaVale and Dwight are no longer needed in this series. He has set them down on the bench, turned them into the greatest cheerleaders this side of the galaxy, and that he's pretty much found his own small ball lineup. And the Lakers are pretty much beating the Rockets at their own freaking game. I mean, like you say, they can't stop LeBron and AD. And once the Houston Rockets defense collide on LeBron and AD, they're just tossing them out to open shooters, and they finally are actually just making their shots. And I have to concede something, even though I hate this. But Rev, I guess you were right. I guess LeBron takes game 1 of every series to feel the team. You know, I hate they just gotta feel them out. I gotta feel how these teams gonna come at me. And once he figures it out, you like primetime Dion said, you might well close up shop. LeBron is focused. This series is over. Rondo is giving me something I didn't even anticipate. Once he started giving us that extra, this series is over with. You got 3 veterans. You got, like Coach Vogel said, you got 2 head coaches on the floor in LeBron and Rondo. 3 head coaches all together with Vogel, Rondo, and LeBron. 80s finally giving me 80, not completely tough guy, but a little mixture of both. A little, you know, a little finesse, but he's coming in the paint too. They'll set him up for some inside plays too. So just keep giving us a mixture of both, AD. Close these guys out tonight. Put Coach out of his misery. Let's go on and get ready for the next round. Hopefully Denver can keep playing the Clippers strong, but that series is probably over with tomorrow night too. So it's nothing pretty much left to say. I don't know why I didn't have the convict of my morals and take the Lakers in 5 like I should have last week. I let you guys bully me into saying that the Rockets were gonna actually give a better fight, but I should have known, you know.
No. Because you overreact over one game.
Yeah.
That's why you went on and said what you said. We didn't bully you. Your feelings bullied you because you were too upset about the outcome of game 1. Let's keep it 100 on the Red and Red Sports Show.
That's right. I let my emotions get the best of it, but I should have known, like I say, when the lights get the brightest, Jimmy Harding plays the worst, okay? And Westbrook, you know how out of control he is as the rounds go deeper. So I should have known with those 2 guys, I had nothing to worry about. This game is over with tonight. LeBron recognized the mission at hand. He recognized he has a mission. The mission is for a ring. He has to be ready for the Clippers because it's probably going to be our toughest challenge yet. It was fun, Rockets, but we'll see you next season. Peace.
Yeah, and one other comment I'll add, the Lakers have even more of an extra incentive to win tonight, give themselves an extra day of rest, maybe an extra 2 days. And so they'll have 3 days of rest, be tomorrow, and then 2 more days. So, the Lakers have all the incentive. And then also, the Houston Rockets actually messed themselves up in game 4 because they showed a valiant effort to get back in the game at the end of the game. So that gives the Lakers more incentive not to take them lightly in game 5 because they almost messed around and allowed the Houston Rockets to tie the series after they were up by 17, 20 points the whole game. So now the Lakers, extra day rest, also with the Rockets coming back the other night, they have no problem doing what they got to do because they almost messed around and lost that game, and they don't need to prolong this series so that they can't take advantage of the rest that they can get while the Denver Nuggets and Los Angeles Clippers are still playing. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But nevertheless, I tell you, Coach, if the Rockets win today, I won't use the fandom piece that I've used on you and Red before. I'm gonna leave you alone with that. But if they get wiped out, I'm gonna call your fandom what it really is. All right. All right. We know that the Nuggets pushed the Clippers to game 6. Who would have ever thought Paul Millsap had a revival in the third quarter? Went on a scoring binge after the Clippers were up by like 17 points, helped lead the charge for the Nuggets to get back in the game. And then young Michael Porter Jr., along with Jamal Murray, hit some big shots in the fourth quarter to say, not so fast, we're not leaving the bubble. And therefore, the Denver Nuggets defeated the Clippers last night in game 5 so that we will have a game 6 on tomorrow for the Western Conference semifinals. Red,
Yes,
with all
sir.
that being said, will the Nuggets be done tomorrow night?
I hope not. But if the Clippers are the team that everybody tell me that they are, not that I believe them, but everybody tells me that they're the team to beat, then yes, the Denver Nuggets should be done tomorrow. But I'm gonna keep hope alive just a smidget that they can keep these Clippers playing. Get them to game 7, and we'll see what happens. You know, the Nuggets only show up when they're on the brink of elimination. It happened last series. It happening now. So with the Nuggets, you just don't know if they even played their best basketball of this series. So we'll see. But like I said, last series, Nuggets didn't show up until they were down 3-1. They were down 3-1 this series. They won yesterday. Game 6. We shall see.
All
But
right.
they should be done. They should be done.
Is it over, Coach, tomorrow night?
I use your analogy that you said. The Clippers had the Nuggets and they took them lightly, and you saw what happened when you take a team lightly. They make the game very interesting, and then in some cases, like they did, they ended up winning. The Clippers should have buried them early, but hey, the Nuggets said, give us this much. That's all we need. We'll get back in this game, and they did. And they started shooting well, and they were hitting the threes, and they ended up winning. But you remember that name I said they needed to play?
Oh, Michael Porter Jr., you said it.
I told you. That kid is gonna be tough when he don't question authority, but you know, he's gonna be good for years to come for them. They gotta get him that ball. He said he just can't see Murray and Jokic, which you find out he came in the last party, then had a crucial block late in game on my boy Big Z. So hey, if the Clippers jump out early, then they better go for the throats early, or they're gonna be in for another dog factor that you see. The Nuggets can hang in there. Whether they hanging at a night, don't know. It's gonna be tough because I think the Clippers smell fear, but we'll see.
So are they done tomorrow?
Yes,
All right. Thank you, sir.
because I don't think they can put that kind of game together 2 days and 2 times in a row. I don't think that can happen.
We're gonna have to put a new standard for Coach. Answer the question first, then give us your analysis. Because you
You got to make it flip it.
you sometimes forget to answer the question, man. You start going
Yes.
into your analysis. But nevertheless, I think it's over tomorrow night. Coach is right. Michael Porter Jr. has been a welcome addition to the Denver Nuggets. I just don't necessarily see Michael Porter Jr. being able to be counted on in every game to do what he did last game. I think that was more of an anomaly right now in his career. Do I think he may have that in the future of his career? No doubt about it. The kid is uber talented, got great size, speed, skill. He is definitely a solid player. I'm just disappointed in Jokic. He almost cost them the game yesterday. When they were up by 3, he got the ball right in the middle of the paint. And instead of using his big body to go ahead and shoot the ball, he passes it out for a 3-point shot. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You're supposed to be, at the end of the day, you got to close the game. I know that may not be your role, and you're accustomed to Jamal Murray doing that. But, dude, you got to step up because you got the biggest advantage on the team. Nobody on the Clippers can guard him inside out. And I don't understand. He just gets real lackadaisical. He just kind of gets. He got a little and no disrespect to coaches, boy, but he's got a little James Harden in him. Towards the end of the game, he fades a little bit, and he doesn't take the game as seriously once he gets tired. Is that fair, Coach?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he had several shots he passed up because for whatever reason, they started shooting threes late in the game when all they had to do was move the ball and work it down. I don't know why they did that.
Yeah, I don't understand it as well. Red, you had your Baptist finger up a little bit. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying the point you made, that's the main reason a lot of folks can't take the Nuggets and a lot of teams with these big finesse inside out men series, because like you say, they'd rather pass the ball out for a 3-point shot or dribble it out themselves for a 3-point shot. And they right there by the goal. Just hold up your arm and dunk it. So you right there. You by the goal, you're inside the paint. Get a basket. Get an easy ball. A basket is a basket. Well, what's the deal? I mean, you score enough 2-point shots, you might win the game.
Right. This analytical basketball is ruining the game, and not really. Analytics does not go well with situational basketball, because actually this analytical basketball that's, encouraging more threes than twos help teams get back in the game, especially if you're still shooting threes and you up 15 points. That's the time when you start working the ball down low if you have a post person, accumulate fouls on the other team so that every time they foul you, you go to the free throw line. That's just sound situational basketball, but analytical basketball or analytics, they want you to keep shooting threes and then mess around and you in a dog fight when you could have put the team away. So I tell you, man, the nut.
4 free throws for Jokic in the
That's
whole
terrible. And he has the size advantage on everybody, and that's inexcusable. And that's going to be probably the reason why they get sent home tomorrow, because you just can't keep winning. And as good as Michael Porter Jr. was down the stretch, you just can't count on him doing that for the rest of the series. All right, gentlemen, we know that the Bucks are finally out. Giannis did not finish the season with this team. He got an ankle injury that cost him the last game. What's his future? We know that he said the politically correct thing. He's not asking for a trade as he goes into his last year of his contract. He becomes a free agent in 2021. What's next for Giannis the summer of 2021? Coach, go with it.
He'll still be a Buck.
Explain yourself.
He's not one of those guys, and you look at his demeanor and you look at the way he plays, he's not a rah-rah spotlight guy. He's not that big-time guy in the spotlight. He's one of those guys who plays well, but he plays well in a smaller market. Him going to somewhere like a Golden State or Clippers or somebody, I don't know how his demeanor will handle that, with those other bright lights in there. He's a bright light already where he is in Milwaukee. And I think that they just need to go out. I heard the Chris Paul trade about Milwaukee picking up. So they just need to get him some help, and he will stay. I think he's still going to be a Buck.
All right, real quickly before I go to Red, what kind of help can they actually give? You heard the rumors about trying to go after CP3. We know CP3 got 40 million attached to him in his contract. They already got Chris Middleton. They gave him a pretty large deal with 20 plus million. What kind of trade assets do they really have to be able to get somebody along the line of a CP3?
Well, that is true. You gotta give up something to get. So if you're gonna give up anything, the next best player, I guess, is Middleton. And I don't know many teams that would want Middleton. That you got to give up Middleton, probably some more stuff, a draft pick, other player to get. You may be able to get a disgruntled kind of maybe a Ben Simmons or Embiid. They keep fishing them around, talking about one of them got to go, but you got to offer something to get one of those because they're not gonna come cheap. So
you can't get. You know they can't get Ben Simmons because you can't have two guys out there who can't shoot the three ball. So that won't work. That won't work. And I don't think they have enough to get Joel Embiid. But all right, Red, go with it.
Out. Gone. Goodbye. See you later. Coach Bud, you too. Goodbye. See you later. You gonna follow him right out the door.
Now, why do you say he's gone?
Look, he know he's not gonna come out and say right now because he know he still got another year on his contract. So it'd be silly for him to say. I'm saying, of course, he gonna say team. We're gonna, come together for one more year. It's all about making Milwaukee better. I'm committed to Milwaukee. Look, we heard this all before from all these athletes. We've heard it all before, and we gonna hear it all again. I swear. I mean, Kawhi, wasn't he the same way? Not this big rah-rah guy. Could have stayed in a small market, but look where he at now. Big time market, big time LA market. But number one, Giannis ain't even the player Kawhi is, because until he get a jump shot, he's just gonna be really a one-dimensional player. So Giannis need to get his play up first, because personally, I don't think he's gonna be worth all this cash as long as team's gonna be able to shut him down when the playoffs come. That's probably why he needs to definitely gonna leave Milwaukee, because he's gonna have to play with players that's gonna be able to take over the games when teams shut him down. And that ain't gonna happen in Milwaukee because they're not gonna get those type of players in Milwaukee. And that's why he's gonna leave Milwaukee sooner rather than later.
All right, real quick. What's up, Maurice Thrower? Thank you so much for finding us on YouTube, man. Sorry about those technical difficulties. Was glad that you found us. Feel free to comment. Armani says CP3 would be a good fit for Milwaukee. He says, I don't think Giannis is leaving right now, but he will if they continue to not get to the finals. And actually, Armani's point is my point. We know that the Bucks had high expectations these past 2 years. Last year, people expected them to get to the NBA Finals. They didn't. Strike one. People expected them to get to the NBA Finals this year. What's that? Strike two. Next year, 2021, if they don't make the NBA Finals, that would be what strike? Strike three. And we know in the game of baseball, it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out of the old ball game. And I think Giannis will get tired of the backlash. I think Giannis will get tired of being labeled as an underachiever. And therefore, at some point, as much as he loves the team and as much as Red said before, that in the words of Sunshine Anderson, heard it all before. He's gone after next year if they don't make the NBA Finals. So I'm all in the heard it all before category with Red, and I think Giannis is going to be ghost. All right. Let's go right into this last topic before we get a quick Braves report, and then we go quickly to halftime. OKC coach's former team and Billy Donovan, the former NCAA two-time champion as a head coach of Florida, they part ways. And according to the reports, it was mutual. So with that being said, was it justified, especially since Coach Donovan was the coach of the year this year? So what are your thoughts, Red?
I'm not sure it was justified, especially when like you say, he was coach of the year, and they really had no expectations going into the season. I mean, everybody, all the pundits predicted OKC to finish what in the lottery, and this guy had him on the brink of being in the second round. I mean, playing the Lakers, they would have been playing my Lakers. They would have been in for them then, but like I said, he had him on the brink of getting past the Houston Rockets in the first round. A lot of folks expect this team to be a lottery. I thought this was one of Coach Donovan's best years, being that most of the years he usually had a superstar. First year he came in, he had a team full of superstars. He had Durant, Westbrook, Now you take away Durant, he's back to just Westbrook and some role players. You take away Westbrook, and you got a team full of role players, along with CP3, an agent CP3, and he still had the team playing competitive basketball in the Western Conference, much more. So imagine what he would have did in the Eastern Conference. So, Billy Donovan, unless you're telling me that the expectations were huge, then yeah, I think that's kind of was a bad deal, because whether you were contending in the middle of the pack or you rebuilding, to me, he was doing an admirable coaching job. So I don't know what the expectations are.
I'm going to jump in right now with my analysis before I go to Coach, because, Red, you said something that I think gives light to why this took place. You talked about rebuilding, possibility of rebuilding, and I think that's what OKC sold to Billy Donovan, and I think he didn't want any part of the rebuilding process. I look at, if they are rebuilding, then that means that CP3 might be out. That also might mean that Dennis Schroeder, who was very critical for their success this year, he'll be out. Steven Adams needs to help them out by getting out, because he is just a wasted player on the team, and maybe somebody will buy him out because they're not going to get much trade value for him. So I think it's a rebuild that's going on, and that's why it was a mutual thing, because it just doesn't make sense if you plan on bringing basically the same team back, then you don't get rid of Billy Donovan. So there has to be the mindset of a rebuild. CP3 is probably going to be moved if they can move his contract. And actually, this is the best time to move his contract, because CP3 showed that he still has some gas in the tank. Last year, they didn't have that ammunition because CP3 was coming off an injury. So now this is the best time to get some value for CP3 right now, because he concluded the season healthy, and he was a major cog in Oklahoma City's Thunder. So his value has gone up, and now the Oklahoma City Thunder can get some more pieces to be able to move forward. So I like it. Hold on before you go, Red, because Coach got to chime in, and then I'll come back to you, Red. But this got to be a rebuild, and I think CP3's presence, though, helped Gilgeous-Alexander. It also hurt him because he's not able to be the general of the team. And I think now they want to see what they have in Gilgeous-Alexander to see if he's worth an investment for some years to give him a max contract. So I think there's even more incentive to see CP3 out the door. Coach, what are your thoughts, man? Was it justified? Do you believe in my theory that it might be because of a rebuild why Donovan is gone? What you got?
Basically, it looks like Indiana and Oklahoma City are going to swap coaches, because Nate McMillan was done the same way. He wasn't justified in getting fired, and neither was Donovan. Both of them did a great job getting their teams to the playoffs despite different injuries or whatever. And I hate when people put it all on the coach. Say it's the coach's fault. You got to look at what you got to work with, first of all. You can't put, like you alluded to, Steven Adams should be a walking double-double in the playoffs. He was a walking double-single sometimes, certain things. But then again, they'll say that's the coach's fault for not getting him in position to do that. But, I think both of them, and like I said, Nate and Donovan were not justified because of where they finished and what they did this year.
So do you think it was a rebuild? Is the rebuild situation that may have caused Donovan and OKC to part ways?
If it is, if it's not, and you had a good point on that, they need to tell Chris Paul now so he can get out of Dodge and let them do their rebuilding.
All right, Brad, you want it back in? What you got?
Yeah, well, coach, I think they have told Chris Paul. I think Chris Paul told them. I think Chris Paul, real. I didn't think about this till you brought it up. I think Chris Paul just man pulled out one of his most brilliant seasons ever. Because check this out. You're right. He had to play this season healthy, and he had to end this season healthy for him to pull off this big time corporate Raider move that he's about to pull off this next offseason. Because you're right. He's about to get out of town. He don't want to be in OKC. He don't want no parts of OKC. He don't mind playing. He doesn't mind playing there and helping those young guys out. That's what CP3 is. He's elite. He'll help. He could have went to Sacramento and helped those young guys out. But is he gonna be there long term? No way. Not when he has some leverage. And what did you just say? His season that he just had is giving him some leverage. He can demand a trade. He can go to a team that he feels is a championship contender for the last 2 or 3 years of his contract. So you're right. This is it. Yeah, CP3 is going to get out of town. And I guess Billy Donovan found out about this. Maybe they both knew about this. Maybe they discussed this together. Maybe CP3 told Billy, all right, I'm not staying past this year. So, okay, Billy was saying, well, you're right. I guess it's going to be a rebuild now. And I guess, yeah, Billy, he's getting that little contending feel. He likes being in the playoffs. You're right. He wants no part of a rebuild. His team is not going to be contending for a playoff spot. He wants no part of it. He'll go back to college before he puts up with a rebuild in the NBA. If that's the case, he'll just go back to college. So I'm with you, Real. I think CP3 is going to use this final good season of his career because he might have the next few years get unhealthy, might be injured. But he's going to use this season to get out of OKC, which is where he never wanted to be in the first place. Whether it be now, I don't know where he's going to go, whether it be Milwaukee or whatnot. He'll go somewhere where he feel like he can contend for the last few years of his career. And I guess you're right. Billy Donovan wanted no part of it, but give Sam Presti credit. He just keeps getting these pieces he can unload and keep adding more draft picks and additional pieces that help his program out. Because he's going to get something for CP3. Because CP3 has
something. Draft pick. Yeah, he's going to get something. Maurice Thrower said, for OKC to get rid of Billy Donovan after the job he did is just stupid. Let's remember, Maurice, that was a mutual thing. It was a mutual thing.
I think Billy won't out, Maurice.
Donovan won't be without a job for long. I can see that. It'd be interesting to see if he goes back to college or not. But with college jobs already being filled and the NBA jobs not yet being filled since they extended the season due to COVID, he might get another job. Listen to this, Red, and it's going to be a short answer, yes or no from you, sir. Maurice Thrower said, if I were the Atlanta Hawks, I'd give him a call given his track record with point guards. Yes or no?
Yes.
So basically, Lloyd Pierce out, Billy Donovan in.
Yes.
All right, if you say so.
I don't want to hear nothing about no racial stuff neither. It's just my personal opinion.
Rev?
Right, yes.
Somebody trying to start something. They done put something out there on Giannis.
Okay, what did they say?
Giannis has unfollowed all his Milwaukee Bucks teammates on Instagram. But there's a caveat. He did the same thing last year.
Right. So let's not even worry about it. Let's not worry about it. All right, real quickly, yes or no, because we got so much more. We got too much football to be continuously on. Real quickly, Amani said that Coach Donovan could go to Philly. Good move or bad move? Red, good move or bad move to Philly for Coach Donovan?
It would be okay, but I think they won't stay. Need Stan Van Gundy.
All right, good move or bad move, Coach Donovan?
Good.
All right. I'm kind of on the good move as well because he has that kind of personality that could deal with Ben Simmons as well as Joel Embiid. So personality-wise,
he definitely has the personality to deal with star. I'm seeing that now because he has star players each year. And if he can deal with Westbrook, CP3, and Durant, he can deal with stars.
And remember now, that OKC team should have beaten Golden State when they had KD and Westbrook because he coached them up well. So you remember he could coach stars, and that wasn't his fault that they did not beat Golden State. So Yeah, I would go after that. That's a good call, Armani. All right, let's go real quick. Baseball, give us our Braves report real quickly, Red. Give us about 2 to 3 minutes on the Braves, and then we're going to move on to halftime. What you got on the Atlanta Braves this week?
Braves went 3-4 this week, fellas. Hold on, let me bring up my report. We went 3-4 this week. We had a pretty good week. Well, no, it was up and down. Really, 3-4 is not a good week. Really wasn't a good week at all. We had a lot of games that, like I say, Snick. I think I was getting on Snick this week because he had a few games that he just showed why Rev and me don't trust him down the stretch, especially in playoff baseball time. I mean, like I say, he's a good manager when we blowing teams out, but when we really need a clutch managing decision, no, I just don't trust him. I don't trust his bullpen usage at all. I think he brings guys in at the most inopportune times. I don't understand sometimes his substitution packages. You bring Louis Jackson in at the wrong time. You bring Will Smith in at the wrong time when you obviously can tell that Will Smith is not healthy, dude. He hasn't fully recovered from COVID-19. Why you bring him out there in pressure situations? I have no idea. I swear Will Smith gives up a home run every time he come on the field. So why you bring him in a one-run game? I have no idea. So Snit, like I say, man, I'm just gonna keep my fingers crossed with you when it comes to playoff time until we get a real manager that we can trust. But good job with the bats this week. The Braves bats are once again keeping us in every game. Marcell Ozuna showing out this week again. He was the NL Player of the Week last week. Adam Duvall has played himself into probably a contract. Ron Acuna, I'm hoping we're not gonna have to say injury prone him. That's why every time I look up, he's leaving the game for some reason. But hopefully he'll be back tonight. He's just a phenom. Freddie Freeman is doing Freddie Freeman things, but it's the regular season. We know how that comes when the playoff comes. Like I say, Swanson is doing is ball. Like I say, our bats are pretty much carrying the steal. So, you know, and pitching staff more injuries. Tommy Malone is headed to the injured list. I'm hearing Hamels. That's how desperate we are. We're going to have to bring Hamels to be activated. Believe it or not, Hamels will be activated this week, Rail. So, and Free, hopefully, he'll be back this week. But that's where the Braves are. Just all bats and little pitching.
All right, Coach, you got anything?
Still in first place, though. Huh?
I said I was talking to Coach. Coach, anything you want to add to the Braves report?
Well, you had the softball game. You know about that one, and then they were lost a tough one last night that they had. But they trying to hold off Philly. Philly keeps coming no matter what. They keep trying to hold them off. So long as they can keep Philly in the rear view, they got a couple series coming up. I think they can start putting some distance between them.
Well, right now they would be the 3rd seed if the playoffs started today. Matter of fact, they are officially 15 games away from this regular season ending, since this is a 60-game season. They are 26-19, 2.5 games up on Philly and 3 games up on Miami. They would be the 3rd seed. Or no, I'm sorry, take that back. They would be the 2nd seed. They're half game up on the Chicago Cubs. LA Dodgers would be the 1st seed, even though the San Diego Dodgers, they have a better record than the Braves. I think because the Braves would win their division, the Braves would get the 3rd seed. So, or the 3rd seed or the 2nd seed, whatever it is. I think the divisional winners will get the higher seed, and then they'll place all the other teams that will get what we may call at-large bids due to their record. So we'll see how it goes on. Mo Thrower, here he is. How about my Marlins taking 2 of 3 from the Braves? He says, yeah, they did handle the Braves pretty nicely until they had that record game of runs where the Braves said enough is enough. We're gonna put 29 up on you and let you have that to let you know we ain't through with you yet.
That defeats your 2 and 3 against the Braves at 29 runs.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see where the Braves are next week this time, and we're gonna get ready to shift gears because we still got a whole lot of football to talk about. So let's get ready to talk about this football. And we're going to just do an abbreviated halftime. So coach, don't go too far. I won't go too far. Whatever you got in your reach, that's what you snack on. If you don't have it, wait another hour so we can go ahead on. All right, let's get on, man. Halftime. Let's do it. Curtis Blow trying to interrupt our halftime, man. Goodness gracious, Curtis Blow. Wait, you already had your season. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we finished the first half of the Red and Red Sports Show. We talked a lot of basketball. We gave you a Braves report. Now we're getting ready to talk some football. Skip Bayless comments on Dak Prescott's depression. Then we're going through the whole slate, minus the Kansas City Chiefs and Houston Texans game that happened this past Thursday. We're giving you picks for all NFL games this week, and you can feel free to join us. And I think if you want to join us, we'll let you know where you stood with us each week, even if you don't pick every week. Go ahead on and put all your picks when we pick, and we'll keep up with your record. All right? Let's get ready to do it. Let's get ready to do it. Right into second half. I'm so used to calling third and fourth quarter. All right. Maurice Thrower is helping, being a reporter for the Red and Red Sports Show. Let me do this real quickly. I don't have all the terms. Okay.
I already know what he's finna say. I'm trying to
here we go.
myself.
It's breaking news, and let me give it the breaking news sign if I can get to it.
I knew about it. I just tried to tell you, real.
All right, well, go ahead and break it then, since you already knew
it. Yeah, Maurice trying to hijack my part of the show. It is my job to tell Rev that Alvin Kamara and Dalvin Cook just got paid, baby. Paid. They got paid. Make it rain.
So they both signed 5-year extensions.
Yep. I'm not sure Alvin Cook. Well, hold on. I'm finna see his guaranteed right now. Okay. Alvin got 34.3 in guarantees, and Dalvin got 28 in guarantees. I'm not sure Dalvin was worth 28 in guarantees, being they only had one healthy season. But okay, the Vikings need you, so you better live up to that contract, Dalvin, because they're paying you a lot more than you worth. Now, Alvin earned his money.
What's the average salary? Are you able to see that?
I think Dalvin was 5 years. I think they both 5 years, 70. I know Alvin Kamara is 5 years, 75 million. And Dalvin Cook was 5 years, maybe 60, late 60 something, but 28 million guaranteed. But for Alvin.
So
no, here you go. 63 million, real. $63 million extension for Dalvin Cook.
Well, it's clear that the NFL owners have said, forget that market football for the running back position after Le'Veon Bell signed that contract. You all are not superseding that amount that Le'Veon got, close to 15, 16. So that they said you all better start your negotiations south of 16 million. For we also see that Deshaun Watson, we didn't even talk about it last week. We see that he got near Patrick Mahomes' money, but not as much Patrick Mahomes' money. And I believe that Patrick Mahomes has set the ceiling for what NFL quarterbacks will be getting. So I think we need to thank Patrick Mahomes, where owners are coming in talking about agents coming in talking about getting more than Mahomes. No, sir. You better start south of whatever Mahomes got. So I think we're getting back to some type of reasonable negotiations, because I'm not a fan just because you're next up, you get big money. And I'm glad to see that Kamara and Dalvin Cook got paid, but they didn't break the highest paid running back, because that's a position that doesn't have longevity associated with it. All right, gentlemen, let's go right into we broke some football, and let me just try to do something real quickly, because we know that there was a big to-do in the sports world about some people thinking that Skip Bayless was insensitive to Dak letting it be made known that he's been battling depression, not just because of COVID, but also because of his brother committing suicide earlier this year. And let's just give comments to hear Skip Bayless, and then we'll have some commentary. This is one of the benefits of being on Zoom. Let me put this clip in real quickly as I share.
You're commanding a lot of young men and some older men, and they're all looking to you to be their CEO, to be in charge of the football team. Because of all that, I don't have sympathy for him going public with, I got depressed. I suffered depression early in COVID to the point that I couldn't even go work out. Look, he's the quarterback of America's team. And you know, and I know, this sport that you play, it is dog eat dog. It is no compassion, no quarter given on the football field. If you reveal publicly any little weakness, it can affect your team's ability to believe in you in the.
All right, Jim, and you've heard the words from Skip Bayless. Was he out of bounds or inbounds? And that's why I want you all to start your answer with, if you don't mind, out of bounds or inbounds with his response to Dak Prescott sharing about his depression. Who wants to go first? Out of bounds or inbounds?
I'll go. Definitely out of bounds. Out of bounds, but I kind of understand what he was trying to say. But the fact that he went so in depth with it, out of bounds. Skip, you can't, because it's such a touchy topic. And like I said, you got to remember, a lot of these athletes are human beings. They're humans first, athletes second. And no matter how much money you're making in this world, no matter how much money, no matter what area of life you're in, you go through things. You go through things. You go through emotions. You suffer triumphs in life. You suffer defeats. You gain things in life. You lose things. So, I mean, and we all react differently to it. And especially with COVID-19 going on, that adds even more touchy subject to the issue. Suicide, that's an even more touchy subject to the issue. And I think Skip should have considered those things, as far as considered those things, what Dak is going through, before he made such a profound and strong statement as far as weakness from athletes and athletes showing vulnerability. Because in this particular case, especially in this particular case, you are out of bounds, man. I mean, mental health is a real touchy subject, and you were completely out of bounds. Like I said, I understand what he's trying to say is, in the athletic sports world, only the strong survive. You don't want to give any weakness to your opponents, because your opponents take anything, any advantage they have, and use it to defeat you. That's what he's trying to say. But still, the fact that you went in depth with it and talking about specifically Dak and the issues he's going through with his brother committing suicide, and him, being depressed from having to be stuck in the house, and the COVID-19 issues, his stress from the contract issues. Skip, you took it too far. So I have to say completely out of bounds, because you should have considered everything you're talking about before you made such a strong statement like that. Like I said, I understand what he's trying to say about the athletic sports world, but in this particular case, you're out of bounds, because you didn't consider all of the facts and all of the ramifications that such a statement like that could possibly have.
All right, Coach, it's on you. Inbounds, out of bounds on Skip Bayless' comments about that.
Rev, I'm going to go to you and ask you this. Do you know any perfect human beings?
No, I don't.
Okay, and that's all it is in a nutshell. First of all, Skip, the man brother who's closer to him than you are, probably, I guess, to your family, died. People get affected different ways by death. Everybody does not react the same way by death. And Dak, he had a reaction that, he he was down and done. That was somebody he'd been with for that long a time. And, it affected him adversely for Skip to try to make it like he's going to be weak when he get on the field. Okay, first of all, they haven't played a down yet, Skip. So how do you know if it's going to affect him at all when he plays? You just made a blatant out of the bounds assumption. So me personally, I would use certain words, but I don't. So that's how far I think he went out of bounds with that. Way out there.
And I agree with both you all. Definitely out of bounds. Maurice Thrower said Skip Bayless saying that wasn't cool. With his contract expiring at the end of the month, he might be fishing for a new job if Fox gets rid of him. And that may be a game changer for Fox. I don't know if they'll be quick to do it, but that may come into play and might be the difference between Skip and Shannon continuously having that show that they have. But he was definitely, and that was definitely insensitive. I think Skip, in his own way, because of his love for the Dallas Cowboys, was basically trying to call Dak Prescott out by basically saying, look, we don't need the excuses if you don't have a good season. And I think that's where his mindset was. And he just used that point that he did not specifically state at the wrong time, because all of us, all three of us, since we've been doing this show, we've lost our fathers. And, that loss has affected us in different ways. And therefore, some of us are still processing that loss. And, Red, your father's been gone now for about 2+ years now. My dad and Coach's dad died last year around this time. So, we still feel the effects of that loss. And imagine losing your parent, losing family. All three of us kind of knew our respective fathers were going to be dying. But to lose a brother in such a tragic way, because the other piece to this is he died because of suicide. And then as a family member, you start being guilty a little bit, because you start thinking about, did I miss some signs? Did I not do my part to help my brother still be here? With Dak having money, did I miss the signs where I could have put him in some therapy or something like that? So there are a lot of different factors that Dak may be dealing with, because he's in a privileged position to be able to help a family member get the necessary help that they need and not worry about the cost that comes with it. So that could add an added level of the depression that he might be dealing with. Go ahead, Red.
And add to what you were saying, Red, like I say, that about what you were saying about the questions that could possibly be asking himself. That's questions that we all ask ourselves when we lose a loved one. Well, what could we have done while they were here? Or is it something that we could have said? Is it things that we should have said? Those type of questions that probably make us emotional when we thinking about the people that we've lost in life. So you're right. Imagine the question that Dak is having when, like you say, all three of us, our parents, they were older. We probably expecting, they're getting older. Reality will happen soon. Dak, like you say, this was sudden. This was suicide. This wasn't anticipated or expected. And like you say, the questions that regular people have when they lose loved ones at an older age. Just imagine the questions Dak is having with himself, or the demons that he's possibly fighting with himself, because of the things that he's probably thinking he could have helped his brother out that committed suicide. Because you're right, suicide is unexpected. You don't know what his brother was dealing with. Dak's probably thinking, you're right, is it something I missed? It's something I could have did. I had all the resources. Why didn't he come to me? So, like I say, Skip, he just completely out of bounds. I mean, the emotions that going through, I completely understand why he was in a depressed state. Especially you got those emotions. You're not sure what your financial future is going to be like. You got your bosses that you don't work hard for the past 4 years treating you. I mean, because everybody feel like Jerry's treating them not fair. So you got all of that going on, and then your brother commits suicide. So, like I say, Skip just completely out of bounds discussing Dak's emotions about anything, just completely out of bounds.
All right. Amani, let's clean up the language, Amani, if you don't mind. It's not all about football, Skip Bayless. We need to make sure he's okay as a person first. Yeah, that's cool.
Well, just use your own words. What did he say, Ram? I want to hear it. Just substitute some words.
He tried GD in a different way, So,
Okay. I know
yeah.
you're not gonna say that now.
Yeah, no. We can't endorse that kind of language. But
Almighty.
I understand
Almighty,
it's
put what you said in my inbox, Almighty, so I can see what you said.
yeah. Go to the YouTube page after the show and you'll see it right there. But nevertheless, I agree with both Marcus Thrower and Amani comment that we all on the same page in terms of Skip Bayless being out of bounds. And it'll be interesting, like Maurice Thrower put out, will Skip still remain with Fox? I must admit, I'm not surprised. I'm a bit surprised he didn't get suspended, or at least be told he had to apologize. And he doubled down on his comments, which was very interesting for him to do it. I don't think that Shannon Sharpe would have been able to have the same liberty. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, that was strange to me. I would have thought they would have. Yeah.
Okay. Let me, excuse me for interrupting you, Red. Okay, now it makes sense. Now it makes sense, Armani. And excuse me for misinterpreting his typo, but he meant to say God got Dak. That's what he meant to say. God got Dak. So I get it. All right. And he ain't. I can see the words fall in line. Thank you, Armani, for clearing it up. God got Dak. It's not all about football scape. All right, that makes sense. Just take the M off the DA and put K. Got it. No doubt about it. I'm with you. Even though Red trying to laugh, I see what you got, and we're all on the same page. So thank you for clearing that up, Armani. All right, gentlemen, we're going to add another element to this picking this year, where since we don't have the slide in the back when we're normally in person, we're going to add the little share real quickly where we can see the games while we're picking them so that we know exactly who's home, who's away. So we're picking with common sense. And I'm going to tell you, gentlemen, if y'all want to at least sniff the Red and Rev Sports Show championship, which Rev has won 5 out of 6 or 4 out of 5. Which one is it? Both college and pro.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. No, it got to be 5 out of 6 then. 5 out of 6, because you only won 1. Coach is still hanging out with that donut. All right. Krispy Kreme. All right. And I don't plan on you coming out of Krispy Kremes after this season either. But if you want to get a championship, gentlemen, you cannot be a fan when you pick. You've been forewarned. When your team has shown themselves to be who they are, and if they're not good, believe it and don't pick it. I'm just trying to give you all a nugget to be on the championship side of picking football. That's all the advice I'm giving to you all. And let me go ahead on with this quest to win this next championship. Again, fans, you can join with us. Type in your picks, and I'm gonna put an email address for you to put your picks, because after this, the chat is gonna go away, and I'm not putting down all your picks. So make sure you email your picks if you join us. And Armani, you like to pick and all that stuff. I'm putting an email address for you all to send your picks once you have picked, if I can find it. Hold on just a second. All right. Send your picks to the Red. Now that means you typing in your picks now, then emailing your picks afterwards. All right, so don't try to just email the picks after the show, because we have no validation unless you send it before the show, before Sunday comes. But we want you to pick with us and then put your picks together and show us who you pick. All right, so let me give you this email address before I start the hype music. The Red and Rev show@gmail.com. Send your picks there after you make them with us. And we'll keep up with your picks to see how well you are doing. That's where you send your picks. Send your picks to that email address. All right, gentlemen, do y'all need to pray before y'all start picking?
Well,
All right.
if you please don't go through, you can just send them to my inbox and I'll post them on the page.
Well, we're not gonna post all of them on the page. We'll call them out during the show, next week's
Okay.
show. All right, because that's too much to be posting every week. I've learned as a pastor, don't start something you know you can't finish. So let's not put ourselves in that situation. All right, gentlemen, let me get back to where I can start this hype music because I'm pretty excited. Red, which one did you win one year? The college or pro?
NFL.
All right, so I need to get back to. I can't do a three-peat then.
Oh,
Okay. Okay,
can't do a three-peat.
it's all about repeating for me. Okay,
Yeah, just a
and then
repeat.
I have to do a Golden State Warriors 3 out of 4. I got it. All right, here we go, gentlemen. All right. Can y'all see it?
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm good. I can see it.
You good?
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to start with the way the roster is shown. The roster of games shown. We see that the Chiefs won. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, the defending champions, they are still doing their thing. Nothing has stopped them. They're all the way up. So let's go, gentlemen, and let's get to it. Here we go. Eagles at the Washington football team. That's a funny emblem, isn't it?
W.
All right, gentlemen, let's go with it. We're all on screen now. We normally start with Coach. So, Coach, who you got? The Eagles or the Washington football team? Y'all can pick with us. Go ahead and start picking.
Eagles. Washington's still in a state of flux. It's going to take them a minute to get everything right. So right now the Eagles are ready. I'm going with the Eagles.
All right, Red, are you going with Coach or are you going with the Washington football team?
I am not going with the Washington football team. I am with Coach, the Eagles. Washington got something to prove.
All right, let's make it unanimous. I think Carson Wentz will have a solid season, and I think the Washington football team still trying to figure out their identity, still trying to figure out if they have a franchise quarterback in Haskins, and with Alex Smith making the team as the third-string quarterback, who knows, Alex Smith may be up sooner than later. All right, gentlemen, let's move on to the next one. The Dolphins at the Patriots. Red, who you got?
Dolphins at the Patriots. Woo! Cam Newton versus Ryan Fitztragic. Oh, man. Patriots at home, Belichick at home, Cam at home want to make a good impression for his new coach. Look, I know the Dolphins are an improved team, but it ain't Tua time yet. And you know how Ryan Fitztragic is early on. So I am going to go with the Patriots. They still the Patriots, man. They still got Belichick and Cam. He got something to prove to the coach. I don't think Cam want to start off the season on a losing start. So I'm gonna go with Cam and the Patriots at home.
All right, I'm gonna get to Maurice Throw and Armani's picks in just a minute after this go around. I'm going with you. You got the Patriots, Red?
I got the Patriots.
I'm rolling with you, man. I got the Patriots as well. I think they're going to start off the Cam Newton era on the right track, even though Miami has a wonderful defense. They finished pretty strong last year. I think Miami's going to need some extra time to get everything in place. Plus, I'm not sold on Fitztragic, as Red calls him. So I'm going to go with Bill Belichick starting off the Tom Brady era out of New England on the right note. So I'm going with the Patriots. Who you got? Coach.
Everybody hyping on the Dolphins beating the Patriots last year. Whatever. New year. Patriots start out by beating the Dolphins by 20.
All right, Coach got the Patriots. We're making it unanimous across the board. Maurice Thrower and Armani are joining us and picking these games. Mo has the Eagles and the Dolphins, he said, all day, and we obviously know he's a Miami fan all across the board. For he invaded our show talking about the Marlins, so we're not surprised by him making that Dolphins pick. And Armani picked the Patriots as opposed to the Dolphins. So we got everybody up to speed so far. Next game, a divisional battle. Just like the Eagles and Washington football team game, you got the Packers going on the road against the Vikings. It's on me. Ooh, this is a tough one right here. Oh, man, I love Aaron Rodgers, but the Minnesota Vikings oftentimes have a great defense. Do I trust A-Rod to go into Minnesota to beat Kurt? You like that, Cousins? Whew. Man, this is a tough one. Why they had to be on me? I'm going to say home field advantage wins. I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings. Even though I don't trust Kirk Cousins, I do trust their defense. And Aaron Rodgers does struggle against some great defenses. And plus, he still lacks a lot of offensive weapons. So I'm going to go with the Vikings. Who you got, Coach?
Well, this year I've adopted a new philosophy. I'm going to pick every pick that Rev picks.
That's a good way to go to a championship, though.
No, sir.
Hey.
I won't do Kirk Cousins, he's missing some weapons. And I don't know if those wideouts. And Thielen, he's off injured, so I don't know. No digs. Packers, Aaron Jones is improved. I'm going to go with the Packers.
All right, Coach got the Packers. I got the Vikings. Who you riding with, Coach? I mean, Red. I'm sorry.
I am riding with Skeet Rogers and the Packers
And why?
because of everything you guys said about Kirk Cousins. Because this game is a toss-up. When we get to games that are toss-up, what's my motto? I always go with the better quarterback. And that's what I'm doing.
All right. Well, I can't fault you for that one. All right, gentlemen, we're back to the Colts at Jaguars. Coach, it's on you.
Oh, man. The Jaguars, did they trade Leonard Fournette?
Yep.
They
did.
didn't trade him. They cut him.
Colts.
Good.
It's that simple because Fournette's not there. It's the Colts.
Yes, sir.
All right. Red, it's on you.
I don't know about it being that simple. Definitely taking the Colts because I like the Colts coaching staff. I like the Colts new QB and Phillip Rivers. I was about to say Brissett, so I had to remember that they got Rivers now. So you adding Rivers with Hilton. And we all, I love that Colts young defense with that linebacker. I don't forgot his name, but the one that got into that racial issue earlier this year. You know the guy I'm talking about. His name, I think Marlon, the linebacker. Huh?
Marlon Mack.
Yeah, Marlon Mack. I like that linebacker. Like I say, I love the Colts offensive line. That dude Quentin. Why can't the Falcons get offensive linemen like that? But anyway, Colts over Jaguars because I think the Colts more talented and they got better coaches. They got better players. They've traded pretty much everybody away. I ain't sold on the Minshew era yet. I can't remember who else they got besides Minshew because they like I said, they don't give away all their running back and cornerbacks and pass rushers. They've traded everybody away. So what do they really have? Colts.
And exactly. That's why it was so simple. If Coach just left it with the Jaguars, saying basically, left it with just saying the Colts will win. The Minshew era is the bridge to the Trevor Lawrence era. Let's just keep it real. They are tanking without saying they're tanking. So it's the Colts for me any day, every day. And I would not be surprised if the Jags may go 2-14 this year. Real quickly before you go Red next, we got Mo, got Minnesota and the Colts, and Armani has the same thing, Minnesota and the Colts. I'm glad that Armani and Mo have seen the light to roll with Rev with the Vikings and Packers game. See, they're trying to be champions. They're trying to be champions. But nevertheless, we won't hold that pick against you guys. Moving forward, the Bears against the Lions. Mitch Trubisky has been named the starting QB for the Chicago Bears. Red, does that help you choose the Bears in this game? What you got?
Absolutely not. That helps me not choose the Bears in this game. I'm definitely going the opposite way. I'm going with my boy Stafford. He at home. He the better quarterback. He got something to prove. He want to get a team start off on the wrong track, and he definitely don't want to be lose to a dude who just went through a quarterback competition with Nick Foles. No, Stafford. He's seeing it like he realized he don't have that many more seasons. Stafford got to do it this season. And it starts by taking care of business week 1 against the division rival, Mitch Trubisky-led Bears. So, Detroit.
I'm going with you, Red. I'm rolling with Detroit as well. I like the Lions over the Bears. I have more faith in Stafford than I do Trubisky. I think the Lions are going to utilize their new offensive toy, DeAndre Swift, in some capacity. I think they're going to have a very formidable running game with also the guy Johnson, former running back for the Auburn Tigers. So I really think that the Lions are going to do what they have to do. So I'm going with Detroit along with Red. Coach, are you making this pick unanimous?
No.
Whoa.
No, sir. The line, Matthew Stafford throws for 700 yards but never wins. He's going to throw it all over the field until it's time to score it in. Something's going to happen. Interception, fumble, fan come out the stand. I don't know. Bears still got a defense. I don't care what anybody said. They still got a defense. And Trubisky should just hand the ball off and then just run and get out of the way. I'm going to go with the Bears because of the defense.
All righty then. All right, Coach goes out there, goes with the Bears. All right, let's move on. We got some more games. Let's move it on up like the Jeffersons. And we got the Raiders. Now, the Las Vegas Raiders against the Carolina Panthers. My boy Bridgewater makes his debut as the starting quarterback for the Panthers. I believe it's on me now. Okay. I'm going home field right here, even though it's a divisional rival of the Falcons. I'm going with the Panthers. I think they'll maintain home field advantage. And I think Teddy Bridgewater will win his opener against the Raiders. So I'm going with the Panthers. Who you got, Coach?
And this is truly a battle of polar opposites. The Raiders have no offense and a good defense, and the Panthers have offense and no defense. So they cancel each other out all the way around. But like you said, home field to give it to the Panthers.
All right. Home field to the Panthers. Red, you making it unanimous? I feel a sense that he's going against his divisional rival.
You doggone absolutely not. I'm not making it unanimous. I'm with the Raiders in this one. Las Vegas, Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs. I know he's going against McCaffrey, but I don't trust no Bridgewater. Bridgewater got lucky last year because he was with Sean Payton and the Saints. He mostly managed the games when Drew Brees wasn't there. Now he got to win the game. And I'm sorry. Once again, I'm going to take Derek Carr over Bridgewater. I know Bridgewater at home, but a lot of people are picking the Panthers to be one of the worst teams in the NFL this year. A lot of folks picking them dead last in the division, and the Raiders and Gruden. You guys supposed to be one of the improved teams. Well, show me. But I actually think you are. But show me on Sunday and take care of these Panthers for me. Raiders over Carolina.
All right. You got Armani going with the Bears and the Bears. The Bears and the Raiders. I'm sorry, Armani. He got the Bears and the Raiders, so he's rolling with Red with that Raiders pick. And Mo has Detroit and Carolina. And then Red he got more breaking news.
Uh-oh. Well, I know he ain't talking about that Rams receiver now.
Rams and Cooper Kupp have agreed to a 3-year extension. All right.
Ooh.
All right, here we go, gentlemen. What game was that? Let me see real quickly. I lost my train of thought. So we did.
Jets and Bills.
So we're back on you, Coach. It's up to you, Coach. Here we are on you. We got the Jets at the Bills.
As long as he wouldn't care if the Jets. I mean, they played in the mountains. The Bills are gonna hurt the Jets bad.
Okay, Red, you going with Coach's pick?
I'm going with Coach's pick. Jets gonna hurt the Bills bad. Just gave one of their top cornerbacks some money. Josh Allen, I think he in the contract year, so he gonna come out with something improved this year. The Bills, well-coached team. Sean McDermott got that defense ready to ball. This is their year. A lot of people are really picking them to do something this year. No sense of starting the season by losing at home to the Jets. Bills.
All right, let's make it unanimous. I'm rocking with the Bills as well. I like Josh Allen. He's my second quarterback on my fantasy team. So I got to rock with him, even though I'm not starting him. But I like the Bills to take care of the Jets. Let's go. Coach got some real consideration in this game because there's a divisional rivalry game in his Pittsburgh Steelers division. You got the Browns at the Ravens. Lamar Jackson. Red, it's on you, man. Who you got, Baker or Lamar? Who you rolling with?
Upset of the week, y'all. Upset of the week. I'm rolling with the Browns. Go into Baltimore where they went in there last year and got a win to repeat themselves again. Upset of the week. I know everybody gonna be pumped up. Lamar gonna be pumped up because he got something to prove after going out in the first round last year. But I think he's gonna be a little too pumped up. So pumped up that the Browns gonna go in there and sneak a win on their home court and take advantage of their emotions all over the place. They missing Earl Thomas in that defensive backfield. And it's gonna be good in the long run, but it's gonna hurt them this week. I think Kevin Stefanski is gonna have that offense coming out. Nick Chubb, a little mix of Nick Chubb, a little mix of Jarvis and Odell. I think that Cleveland Brown offense is gonna get a Ravens defense. All them boys can handle. First
All
game, everybody got a lot to prove from Cleveland. Like I say, upset of the week. I just think they're gonna give them something they're not expected for. Baltimore, like I say, Baltimore, be ready. But I think Cleveland gonna give them a little bit more something they expected for this week.
In the words of Lee Corso, not so fast. I'm going with the Ravens. I'm going with Lamar Jackson. I need Lamar to have a big game because in one of my fantasy leagues, he is my starting quarterback. So that also has something to go with it. But it's the first game of the season. I think the Baltimore Ravens don't want to lose another game on their home field, especially since they went out pretty badly in the playoffs, being the number 1 seed and got bounced out real quickly. So I think they are riding into the new season with that type of bad taste in their mouth. So that's why I'm going to rock with the Ravens. I think I know where Coach is going, but I'm going to let him say it for himself. Who you got, Coach? Cleveland or Baltimore? I'm going to type in why.
You'll know after one statement. The Cleveland Browns are the most overrated team in the NFL. Oh, my gosh. They think they can actually win. People are hyping them up every year. And Baker Mayfield doing walking through the bleachers commercials. Man, please, the Ravens going to hurt the Browns again.
All right, man. I'm totally wrong on who you were going to pick. I thought your hate for the Ravens was great, but I see since it's a divisional game, it doesn't matter to you. Somebody got to lose in the division. So I was wrong. I had you picking the Browns because I thought you just hate the Ravens that much.
No, they overrated. Baker Mayfield is a joke. Overrated.
All right. Dang, I keep losing my place, man.
Seattle.
No, it's not that place. It's who picks first place. I think it's on me now. The Falcons and the Seahawks. Man, that's a tough one for me. Since it's the first game of the season, I don't mind being a homer. And I'm going to go with the Falcons. I'm going to put my trust in Raheem Morris, having a game plan. He's really big on his defense. I want to see it rather than read about it. So I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons to win a home field game. And if this game were in Seattle, I probably would have picked Seattle. But I want the Falcons to win, but I need Russell Wilson to have a big game since he's my starting quarterback in one of my fantasy leagues. So give me the Falcons. Go ahead, Coach.
If the Falcons would put 70,000 plus in the stands, I would go with the Falcons. But since there will be zero attendance, I'm going with the Seahawks. That home field advantage is not everything. It would have been a lot for the Falcons. I think they would have been motivated. But without that crowd, I go with the Seahawks.
All right, Red. I think I know where you're going, but go ahead and say it.
Falcons, and as far as coaches coming about the crowd, the crowd don't really matter. Most of the crowd not there anyway when they playing, so I doubt they would even notice it. So I mean, Falcons at home, the offense ready to become explosive again. The defense, hopefully they'll feed out the offensive explosiveness and just do just enough to win the game. I ain't got no faith in them now, but hey, they might surprise me now. But offensive bust, and I expect the offense to score more points than Seattle.
All right, Falcons, Red and Rev, Seahawks coach. Let's see who they got. Mo rolling with the Bills over the Jets. Armani's going with the same. Armani said, Red, you're funny, but going with my wifey's hometown team in Baltimore. Mo said Ravens will run it down their throats. Mo says Seattle beats the Falcons, and Armani has the Falcons. Make sure Mo and Armani, y'all email your picks after the show to the email address that I just posted, the Red and Rev Show @gmail.com. That'll be greatly appreciated so we can announce your results next week on the show. Next game, coach, it's on you, man. Chargers at the Bengals. Who you got?
It's going the Chargers. The Joe Burrow arrow got to start with a loss. I'm sorry.
All right, Red, who you got?
I wanted to go upset this one, but no, Chargers. And then I like Anthony Lynn as a coach. I hate for him to put a nail, not a nail, but I hate to put a bad mark on his record by losing to the Bengals to start the season. So I'm gonna go with Anthony Lynn and the Chargers. They got more talent than the Bengals, but I was thinking Joe Burrow might be a little prepared to get his first win and shock somebody of the season. I wouldn't be surprised if Spencer win his game, but I'm gonna go with the Chargers for my graded pick.
All right, let's make it unanimous. I'm going with the Chargers. I do believe that the Joe Burrow era is going to start off to a rocky start, so give me the Chargers. And Brother Mo just took a shot at the Falcons' new and ugly uniforms. I see him taking shots at the Falcons. So it's duly noted, Brother Thrower. Duly noted, Brother Thrower. All right, Red, it's on you, man. The Cardinals at the 49ers. Who you got?
You know who I got, man. Come on.
Who you got?
Arizona.
Really?
Yeah.
You still carrying on that Kyle Shanahan hate?
That and I've been telling y'all. Oh, I haven't told y'all yet. I think I anticipated to y'all that you guys would be shocked with my NFC West pick. I'm picking Arizona. I like Arizona. I like the coach. I like Kyle. I like the fact that look, Arizona defense is a lot better than y'all giving them credit for. And you're going to see in this game. And Cliff Kingsbury, with the addition of Hopkins, now we saw what Hopkins did for Watson in Houston. He about to do the same thing for Kyler Murray up in Arizona. He going to take the pressure off Murray because Murray will know he got a security blanket in Hopkins to go to in big moments, deep threats. Murray's still learning the game, but he's still an explosive playmaker back there. He can move his legs around there. I can't remember exactly who their running back is right now because they traded away David
Drake.
Johnson.
Drake. Kenyon Drake.
Okay, Kenyon Drake. Okay, but look, Cliff Kings, the Cardinals have what the Falcons don't have, and that's an offensive guru calling the plays who's also the head coach. So that gives them another added advantage. 49ers do too. But I like Murray more so than Garoppolo. I think Murray is a better playmaker than Garoppolo. Garoppolo is still more of a game manager. And we found that out last year when he couldn't even make the plays to lock down the Super Bowl. So
All right.
Arizona, I'm riding with Arizona. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'm riding with Arizona because I think they're going to have a unexpectedly good season.
Kyle, Coach, let me ask you this question. Is Kyle Shanahan still the 49ers coach?
Still is.
Do they still have most of their best players on their team?
Pretty much.
That's why I'm going with the 49ers. I don't think the addition of DeAndre Hopkins is that much where you're going to just overthrow the 49ers who just went to the Super Bowl and had a good chance to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. So give me the San Francisco 49ers to beat the Arizona Cardinals. Who you got, Coach?
You can repeat everything you just said.
All right. So Coach and Rev going with the 49ers and Red out there by himself rolling with Arizona. But maybe he's not by himself. Maurice Thrower, the first game he got the Chargers. He hadn't given, and he got the 49ers. And Mo said, Red, you need to let it go. You need to let it go, bro. Armani has the Chargers, and he's rolling with Red with Arizona.
Yeah, I knew it. That's right. I'm going to see what I see. Yep.
The shorties are rolling with each other.
Hey,
That's
Rev.
That's
Rev.
a low blow.
Rev. Didn't Armani think Colin Sexton would be an all-star by
Oh,
now?
there's the Colin Sexton comment for the week.
That was coach this week, Armani, not me.
There's the Colin Sexton comment for the week. All right, I think it's on me now. Do I go first?
Yeah.
Ooh.
No,
All right.
coach.
Oh, man, this is a tough one. The Bucks and the Saints. But Tom Brady will begin his era with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 0-1. I'm going with the Saints. Reason being, reports have it that Mike Evans, the best target that he has, even though Gronk is on the field, is doubtful. So therefore, that's why I'm leaning over to the Saints, because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers still have to gel. They don't have any real flow to their offense because, after all, they haven't played with each other. There were no preseason games. The Saints still got all the top tools on offense. They still have Kamara. They still have Michael Thomas. So give me the Saints to win at home. Who you got, Coach?
Is Brady 43?
That he is.
And the Saints had an aggressive attacking defense that'll chase you around the pocket.
Yes, sir.
No threat of Tom Brady coming out the backfield running the ball. And they're starting running back. They're not even going to start Fournette. They're going to start Ronald Jones. So, Saints.
All right. Redrick, it's on you, sir.
First of all, how old is Drew Brees? He ain't no young puppy now, okay? He's about 40 himself, right?
But keep talking. I'll give you his accurate age in just a moment.
Okay. I can't believe I'm saying this, man. And I won't even say the name.
You're right, man. He's 41.
Exactly. So, but still, I can't believe I'm saying this.
Now, why are you picking him?
Because of what you guys said. And I didn't know Mike Evans being doubtful. They really didn't have any preseason games to gel, so it's gonna take maybe a game or two to really get that rhythm. The Saints at least have the chemistry with Kamara gonna be really fired up after just getting paid. Thomas, he fired up because he got paid last year. Breeze, Payton, that's a formidable combination right there. And they at home in the stinky dome. So for the reasons you guys said about Tampa and the reasons I just gave, even though I'm not gonna say their names, but the team that you and Coach picked, that's the team I'm picking.
All right, and Mo gives us a tidbit. He says, keep in mind that the Bucs are starting a rookie right tackle against 94 advantage Saints. And I'm gonna just go ahead on and give these picks. Mo and Armani both are rolling with the Saints. So it's a unanimous with the fans as well as with the panel. All right, coach, it's on you, sir. Cowboys going back to Cali against the LA Rams. Who you got, coach?
I'm gonna go. This is gonna be tough, but I'm gonna go with the Cowboys simply because I think Dak will come out there with something to prove, and it's gonna be directed at several people. Anybody who doubted him, he's gonna have a show. And I just don't trust Jared Goff for nothing in the world. He's shown he can't be dependable. I don't trust him.
All right, Red.
Cowboys.
All right, Cowboys it is from Coach. Who you got, Red?
Oh, excuse me. I'm with Coach 100% on this. With Cowboys, with Dak having something to prove, with the not trusting in Jared Goff, and also they don't have Gurley now. Yeah, they just paid Cup, but the Rams receivers really are, to me, the biggest playmakers out there. They really benefited from Sean, the coaches play calls and put them in more position to win than them just being studs out there. So, and if Goff was more of a stud QB, then that would be that. But since he ain't, and the Cowboys, to me, have more players and a better team, I'm going with the Cowboys. And like I say, Dak gonna be fired up to prove to the world that even with all the issues I've been dealing with this past offseason, even with the issues I just had to deal with this past week, I'm still gonna come out here and perform on Sunday. Rolling with the Cowboys, even though, I'm not a Cowboys fan.
I'm going to make it unanimous for the D, and Dak will stand for defeating the Rams. So I'm rolling with the Cowboys and making this unanimous. As Coach made a point, I do not trust Goff as the quarterback, and the Cowboys are slated to have a fast defense. So therefore, I think the defense is going to give Goff some problems. Armani is rolling with the Cowboys. Mo said this is the upset of the week. He has the Rams over the Cowgirls. The Rams will get the W in their new stadium. That's a great point, Maurice. Thanks for bringing that out. The Rams do open up their new stadium this year.
Cowboys finna get a win in the Rams' new stadium.
No doubt about it. All right. I believe this is on Red. Coach's Steelers against the New York Giants. Who you got, sir?
Steelers. Simple. Steelers. The better. Steelers still got that defense. Big Ben is coming back. Big Ben got to show the world that he is back. Like I say, I like David Dimes with the Giants. I like Saquon, but I'm not sure what the Giants have on defense. And the number one pick they got last year, he's gonna be in jail soon. They just cut him. So I really don't know what the Giants have on defense, and I'm not really sure their receivers. I like the QB and the running back, but that ain't enough to beat the Steelers. So Steelers all the way.
I'm going to go with Coach's Steelers as well. I think the biggest question mark that I do have when it comes to the Steelers, and this is somewhat surprising, but not, is Big Ben. We don't know what Big Ben is. We don't know what Big Ben will do. But I do believe that the Steelers have enough to shut down on defense, Saquon Barkley, or at least contain them. I don't think the second-year quarterback is ready to make that quantum leap to be able to beat a team this early in the season, like the Pittsburgh Steelers, who's slated to have a great defense. So I'm going to go with Coach's Steelers. And we already know it's going to be unanimous, but Coach will tell us probably why, and he's going to give us all of the offensive linemen and defensive linemen or why they're going to beat them. So go ahead, Coach. Wax poetically, Pittsburgh Steelers style.
You have time for
I don't have to say anything. You already said it.
All right.
The Steelers defense against Saquon Barkley, and then, Big Ben not having the benefit of a preseason. How does he come out throwing? That's what's going to be the two keys right there.
But you still give the Steelers the victory.
Every day and twice on Sunday.
I know it. All right, last game is on me. The Titans against the Broncos. And the Titans had one heck of a run towards the end of the season. They really made some noise. Do they have that same momentum going into this season? I'm going to say yes. I need Henry to have a big game. He's my starting running back for one of my fantasy teams. I still believe they will. Well, let's be reminded that the Broncos had a huge setback with Von Miller being out for basically the whole season, hurting himself. So that affects that pass rush. And they definitely are going to miss his presence. So I'm going to still roll with the Titans. I think they'll carry over some of what they did in the playoffs over to the regular season. So give me the Titans. Coach, who you got?
Who's the quarterback for the Broncos?
That's a good question.
There you go. You don't have to say anything else, Titans. You don't have to say anything else. We got to think about it. He ain't worth the price of admission.
Who is it? Who is it?
I don't know. Drew Lock, Drew Barrymore. I don't know.
Coach. Yeah, Flacco was the QB for a minute, and then they got rid of him. So I don't know. But go ahead, Red. You making it unanimous?
Well, yeah, who's the quarterback for the Titans? I think it's Ryan Tannehill, right?
Yeah, he got re-signed.
Okay. That was good. Like what Coach said. Who's the Broncos quarterback? You got to think about it.
Mo answered is Drew Lock.
Yeah, I know it's Drew Lock. That's because we sports gurus, we know it. But the regular fan probably have to think about it, which means the Titans probably gonna have the advantage in this game. And I think the Titans are gonna win this game. It's definitely unanimous. Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill, good coaching by Vrabel and the boys. That defense, them underrated receivers. Oh yeah, Titans ready.
All right, so it is unanimous. The Titans. Going back to the Steelers, Amani and Mo both have Pittsburgh. Matter of fact, Mo has Pittsburgh winning easily. Mo has Tennessee for the win, along with Armani has the Titans as well. Again, Armani and Mo, get your picks. Email them to the Red and Rev Show at gmail.com. If somebody did not post with us, but you email your picks before the game start tomorrow, we'll include them on the show and we'll let you know how you did next week when we start our Pick'ems segment of the show. All right, gentlemen, we picked all of the games for this week. Going forward, we will not be picking every game, but we'll see what happens. I'm sure maybe we may pick more games than normal, since we're still trying to figure out who are the top teams. And once we figure that out, then we'll just kind of deal with the games that are meaningful. But with that being said, let's get ready to close this show out with You Have the Right.
We still gonna text you so you can post our picks to our page like you do.
I got you.
Okay.
I got you. Who has the right to do what?
Lakers, you got the right to end this series tonight. I want to hear. I'm tired of the Rockets. I want to hear nothing else about them again. It's over with. Send them to Cancun. LeBron and fellas, you have the right to get back to the Western Conference Finals for the first time since 2010. And I want to see it tonight. Let's keep this championship run going.
Coach, who has the right to do what?
NFL players, you have the right to remain as cognizant of the bubble as you are. You don't have but one test, so stay on that path so we can have a complete season, young man.
All right. And the Atlanta Falcons, you have the right to justify Dan Quinn's coming back by beating his old team to start off the season 1-0. So Falcons, you have the right to win on tomorrow in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. All right, gentlemen, that ends episode 154 of the Red and Rev Sports Show. Thank you all for hanging out with us. Thank you all for bearing with our technical difficulties and finding us over on YouTube. Hopefully we'll be back on Facebook Live. If not, you all know where our second home is, the Red and Rev Show page on YouTube. And if you haven't already done so, subscribe to it. Hit that subscription button so that you can find us without having to hit the search button. With that being said, we're getting out of here. That ends episode 154 of the Red and Rev Sports Show. And we're out, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.